and welcome back to the RattleMind Podcast. I'm Roy, and joining me as always is my favorite co-host,
Banshee, and I'm going to ignore the fact that I'm your only co-host.
All right, we enjoyed just talking and doing whatever and not actually being, nailed down to a topic last week,
Plans are for losers.
Exactly.
And now you guys should be able to hear me this week, which is exciting.
Yep, because one, I got the settings right on my recording, and two, she's not on her phone.
Yeah, never again. Never again. Do not let me smack me if I try to do that again. Reach through my phone, because that's what I'll have to be using, and smack the shit out of me, please.
All right. Wow, my brain completely fried.
Yeah, it's got to happen at least a couple times per episode, so we're just getting our quota in.
The funny thing is we record all 3 episodes in one go, and I forget what I'm talking about each episode, so...
Jeez, maybe we should have made a plan today. Nah, but... like I said, it's pretty normal for us anyway.
Yep. No, it was something you said that got a thought in my head, and now it's gone. I hate when that happens.
What'd I say again?
Yeah, exactly.
Smack me through the phone?
No, it was before that.
Before that. Now that you can hear me, some...
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You're on your own. I can't. I got nothing.
Yep, I got nothing either. My brain has just lost it.
How's your week?
Not too bad. Of course, it's this week is going to be the spring break, so all the monsters are home.
Yep. All kids all the time.
Yep. At least they're not mine. I don't have to pay attention to them if they're not mine, so,
Right. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Did you cut out?
Okay, the computer froze for a second, so I was like, yay, your brain's farting already and my computer's cutting me out already. That's what I needed.
It wouldn't be a RattleMind podcast without technical difficulties.
Right. God, I am over it, man.
You know what?
But, I mean, I feel that, like, hey, they're not my kids, so it's okay. Kind of, like, I feel that in my core. Like,
yeah.
I have 2 nephews, and they are beautiful, amazing kids, and I love them, but they are psychotic, and I can't imagine living with them.
Yeah, I got 2 nephews, 3 nieces. My brother's oldest is his daughter, and then he has 2 sons. And then my sister's kids, the one I live with, are both girls, so that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was even crazier is this weekend, my sister's oldest had a friend stay over, and boy, they were loud.
Mm-hmm.
My bedroom literally is right off of the living room, and since they had the sleepover, they were camping out in the living room, so I could hear the TV, I could hear them screaming and yelling.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hey, they were having a good time.
Yeah. She doesn't get to have her friends over too much, so I couldn't complain.
Having friends over is such an exciting stage of life, too. Like, that's...
Yep.
It just brings back so many memories. All those slumber parties and birthday parties as a kid growing up.
Yep.
Good times.
See, the other thing is that my sister's youngest is somewhat friends with the friend that stayed over. So she tried to butt in a lot, and so that was a little bit of fun. They don't mind, but Adria kind of wanted, she had friends, so she wanted to be with her friend. And of course, me
Yeah.
me being the youngest of my family, I understand how my brother would have felt because I did the exact same thing to him.
As the oldest of four, well, okay. So it was just me and my sister for the longest time before my mom remarried and had my brothers. So in this case, I'm still the oldest, obviously, but like my sister and I kind of grew up together and we were only 2 years apart. So we were close enough in age that like whenever my friends were over, like they would get along and stuff like that. And my friends loved my sister and like but like whenever my sister spent too much time around my friends, I'd like get so jelly. I'd be like, get the frick out of here, like, go away. But I never said it out loud, but like I yeah, it's true.
Right.
These are my friends, go get your and it's funny too because she has made some wonderful friends that I've gotten along with. And they're I have a lot of fond memories of some of her friends too, but like I rarely ever saw them, like
Yeah. See,
as it should be.
I didn't have too many friends that I actually, slept over, went to their houses, or they came to my house. I just wasn't that type of person. Most of my friendships were, I saw you at school, that's where I saw you, and that was about it.
Yeah. I had the one friend that I spend the night at all the time, and vice versa. Like the bestie of besties. Like I went to like a few other sleepovers and stuff like that, but like my friend Carly and I were always trying to come up with reasons to spend the night at each other's house. It was her like 99% of the time. I
Yeah.
was terrible at making friends. So like I'm one of those introverts that gets adopted by extroverts, and she was definitely a social butterfly that adopted me.
Yeah, that's definitely not me. I, in fact, because we spent time on IMView, you know me, I just sit there, don't talk, just observe most of the time. And it's like, yeah, you're not making friends by just sitting there.
There's always like a 50-50 chance that like you've passed out like from a food coma. Like you go into those mini food comas, hence Relax. Or you're just like, no, I'm just chilling. I'm here, I promise. Like, cause we check on you. Like, we check your
Yep.
pulse from time to time. Like, hey, you alive? Wake up. And you'd be like, I'm here.
Which, since finding my food allergies, I have not gone into food comas half as much as I used to.
That's good.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So it means onions, and apparently I'm allergic to soy. Soy.
I think we talked about
Yeah,
that one of these times.
we
Yeah,
probably did. I just can't
the
believe what
recent
soy does
list
to me.
edition.
Yeah, because it makes my entire mouth just burn, and I will get sores in my mouth. Oh, it is
Oof.
terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, yet again, we tangent over to things all the time.
Yeah, that's why, sometimes you just don't need a topic.
Exactly. Just a chill time talking to friends.
Yee.
Oh, like right now, we cleaned the dog's room, so a lot of dust has gotten kicked up, and so my sinus near my nose will twitch, and I'll start to feel my face just going. It's like, what the heck? Oh,
You have understandably some of the most sensitive sinuses too.
yes, I do, and it's all my fault. I hate going to appointments. I hate making appointments.
I was gonna say it was the struggle was getting you to make it in the first place.
Yep.
I don't think you've told that story before. If you want to tell it now.
Yeah, not in full. All right. The tale of my sinuses.
Dun dun
Dun dun dun. All
dun.
right. Basically, what happened was I got. Actually, I think where it really came down to the last big. When I worked at Micro Center, because I've talked about working at Micro Center before, Um,
Mhm.
right before I quit, like a month before, they had started doing renovations on our specific store because our store was getting a little run down. The floors were getting grimy and things like that. So they wanted to update it so it looked more like their current vision of the store. But in the I don't know what we called the
Process.
room. Yeah, in the
Oh, never
process.
mind.
But the
Sorry.
room that we would count our tills and make sure that we had the right amount in our drawers before we started also housed our little lockers. I never used one. I don't like using lockers. I never used them in school. So, and that's a whole nother story. But apparently, because people would put drinks in their lockers, the wall the locker was up against would get soaked with all kinds of nasty water, pop, you name it, probably coffee, had spilt on that wall behind the locker.
Huh.
Now, they moved those lockers away because they wanted to get rid of wanted to get the lockers out of there so that it would be all the lockers for the employees would be in the break room instead of in the money counting area. And the entire wall was covered in mold.
Wait. Was there not like a back panel to
There
the?
was a back panel to the lockers, but it had perforations in it.
Oh, kind of like how the doors do?
Yeah, something similar
Why
to
would
that.
you do that? That's so weird.
Yeah, it is weird, but it had some sort of perforations. I think most of them were
Mhm.
meant so that you could actually drill the lockers into a wall stud, so that they wouldn't,
Uh
so that it wouldn't move. Um, but that entire back wall had mold
Old.
growing on it, and
Ugh.
when that got exposed, I think that was the start of the major sinus infection.
I feel like that would be like
It's a health
what
code
brought it to
violation, yeah.
light. I think the progression
Yeah,
was still going on just a lot slower before that.
right.
Construction kicks up all kinds of things.
So I'm pretty sure that mold is why I ended up getting the sinus infection in the first place.
Oh.
The real problem comes in was that, uh, yeah, because I had moved to the upstairs bedroom at that time. So, oh, sorry, I burped. And again. Um, so after that, like I had an upstairs room for about 6 months. My sister decided that we should move out of the city and go find a piece of land. She could not find land. She failed in that. But we moved out of the city and we found a small town, which is nice. The town is nice, but small town issues still
Yeah.
arise. Um, but it also meant we were further away from all of the doctors I knew, that I would go to, all of the uh, places I would normally go to, like shopping and things like that. So push comes to shove, it ends up that I feel sick. My sinuses are feeling bad, and I just kind of ignore it because I'm not working anymore. So I figure I'll probably get over it by just resting and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
as things progressed, the sinus was getting really bad. I couldn't breathe out of my nose anymore. I was like, oh, okay, I'm used to stuffy nose and not breathing too much. I'm not going to pay attention to it. It must just be seasonal allergies. Probably don't actually have seasonal allergies. I probably had just the food allergies the entire time, but um, but we progressed through that, and then all of a sudden, my eye is starting to feel funny, and not very
Mm.
comfortable, and I pay it no mind. I'm just like, it's just a headache and stuff like that. It's not an issue. Then a few days, actually a few months go by, almost like at this point we're probably getting to living in this new house for about a year and a half, and yeah, there's real issues going on. My eye looks like I've been punched in it and is swollen all the time, and then I'm another few months go by, and you're like, okay, I'm getting really annoyed with this. And I have to drive an hour away to go to an actual hospital, so I have to get my mom or my sister to actually, take me because I had started to see double vision while in bright light. And not the normal double vision, when you normally see double vision when you cross your eyes and stuff like that. It's side to side double vision. No, mine
Mm.
was I could see another road on top of the road. So so that's why I couldn't take myself to go to the hospital or anything, because I would see two roads.
Well, I
Uh,
thought that was mostly because you relied on your family for transportation. Like,
well, they
I.
own the cars, yes, but I would drive occasionally. Um,
Oh, okay.
but the real reason I was not driving was because I was seeing a road on top of a road whenever I was in the car.
See, you didn't tell us all that. Like, you told us, like, casually, like, oh, yeah, my sinuses are so bad, my eyes falling out of my head. And we were like, wait, what? Wait, how are you're not just gonna casually drop that bomb and walk away? And you showed us a picture, and we were like, what is
Yeah.
wrong with you, right? Like, why have you not gone, like, yesterday, like, last year? Like, you need to go, like, 2 years ago. We were so, like in awe that, like, it was that bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, it was what, basically 3 years of bad sinuses and headaches, and my eyes starting to bulge out of my head. So when
yep.
I finally got my mom to take me to the ER. Like I said, it is an hour drive to any major hospital or ER.
Mm-hmm.
So we got there. I'm like, at this point. It had progressed to where parts of my hairline and above my right eye was kind of numbish, to where I had no feeling there. It's like,
Oh
yeah,
my God,
yeah.
right.
This is bad. This is really when I should have. This is nearing end stage here, and yeah. So I went to the hospital, and I told them I'm getting headaches and sensitivity in my eyes, and they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. I went to the room, and they sent me in a normal ER room, with a curtain and everything, and I was sitting in bed, and the nurse comes in, and she's like, oh, okay, yeah, you said you were getting headaches and stuff. And I said, yeah, well, I took off my glasses. Yeah, this is really what the problem is. And at that time, my eye had been bulging out and it was bright red.
Mm,
She's like,
mm.
okay, I thought you were here just for a headache. We're going to put you in another room, and then the doctor will see
Oh my
you.
God. The level of downplay is astounding to this day. I can't. I just can't.
So they, the doctor looked at me. Okay, yeah, we're gonna put fluids in you. We're gonna pump you full of fluids, and we're gonna get you a CAT scan, and we're gonna examine your brain and all that, and your
Mm-hmm.
skull, and then at the end, after all the examination was done, the MRI or CAT scan, I can't remember which it was at the time.
All of it.
Yeah, they said the doctor said, okay, we want you to go see a specialist, an ear, nose, and throat specialist. And you really need to see them. Uh, we're going to actually set up the appointment for you, and we're going to do it within like a week. So they set up the appointment, and I went to, I live in Kansas, so I went to KU Meds for the appointment because one, the KU Kansas University, the Jayhawks and stuff. Um, they're a medical school, and so they will
Or
forgive medical debt most of the time.
yeah.
And with me having no insurance or anything like that, I'm like, yeah, I'm going up there because I feel best with that, and I didn't want to go into Missouri, so. Uh, So went up there and had a conversation with the doctor up there, and he's like, "Yeah, I looked at your MRI or CAT scan or whatever it was, and yeah, we noticed that the bone between your eye socket and the sinus, the eye socket, and your brain is starting to deteriorate. We want you to come in
Mm-hmm.
on Friday, and of course, this was Tuesday. We want you to come in on Friday and have the surgery." I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, and he actually said, yeah, if you don't have this surgery this week, you probably have like a month to live.
I can't remember if you told us about the month to live thing. You might have. I just remember like getting so frustrated because like you were getting frustrated with us because we were nagging you to go, but you
Right.
wouldn't like go, so we kept nagging you, and you would get frustrated. And then you came back with like, "Oh, I had a piece of bone digging into my brain," and we were like, "Gee, I wonder why."
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is crazy.
So I had the surgery, obviously, and, I'm still alive and all that.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, yeah, big spoiler. But that is also what I think triggered me to have higher sensitivity to allergens or food allergies and stuff like that, where I found out that eating onions made my face balloon up.
Mhm.
And
That
then
was recently too. That was
that was the beginning of last year, I think, that I figured out
yeah.
the onion thing. Oh, so actually, no, that was Thanksgiving of
Wait, I thought the
2021.
onion thing was while you had the job. I thought you
Yeah,
realized that
because
at your job. Yeah.
well, I realized it during Thanksgiving that it was something was affecting me, and I was kind of sure that it was
Mm,
onions then. And
just
then,
needed solid proof.
yeah, and then I got the job at the gas station making pizzas, and the fumes from the onions were keeping it to where I could not open my right eye yet again.
Mm.
Uh, so it's like,
Flashbacks.
not dealing with that. I'm getting out of here. So I quit that job, and then I got another job, and excuse me, burps again. And then I worked retail as normal that I always do. I hate retail, but I'll still work it. I'll probably go back to it this summer just so I could get some more money.
Yeah.
Um, but that's how I figured that out. Now, the way I figured out that I was allergic to soy was a weird one. I was eating Taco Bell, and the burrito had um, nacho cheese sauce in it. And like, my mouth is really burning while I'm eating this. I know that I can eat normal Taco Bell and I'm perfectly fine. And I told them no onions. So what's going on here? And then I figure, okay, yeah, I'm getting little sores in my mouth. What is going on? And then it turns out, I got the aerosol spray cheese too at some point. I'm like, I love this stuff because, growing up, I would eat it all the time. And I made a cracker covered in that liquid spray cheese, and it was doing the same thing as that burrito did.
Mhm.
I'm like, how is cheese making my mouth burn? I'm like, okay, let's see what ingredients are in here. Cheese, cheddar. Okay, yep, cheddar cheese. That's good. See next ingredient.
We're on track. We're making
Yep,
sense. All right.
milk. Yep, there's milk and cheese. Yeah, we get that. The whey product. Yeah, I figured you have to have whey to make it, the creamy. Soybean oil. Wait, there's soybean oil in this? Why soybean oil? Okay, I'll go with it. All right, yeah, well, something in the cheese is making my mouth burn, and we'll figure it out later. And then, looking at something else, completely unrelated to cheese. It's like, my mouse is burning again. And there's that same sore that's happened. What the bleep? All right, let's
Mm.
look at the package. All right, we got milk and we got we got vegetables. Okay, I understand that. We got soybean oil,
Well,
process of elimination. They both had soy in it. Okay, all
common
right,
denominator equals.
soy. All right, so
Yay! Ding ding ding.
then I started looking out for soy. I have the two worst allergies for food to have.
Yeah.
Every freaking food has either soybean oil, soy something, or something like that in it, or onion powder. Like, I cannot eat a sauce because of the onions, and I obviously can't eat anything creamy because there's soy in it. It's like, holy cow, I can't eat. I'm going to be on just like a steak and veggie diet for the rest of my life.
Well, first of all, those soybeans are probably coming from Ohio. You can't drive down any highway in Ohio without seeing a cornfield or a soybean field. So, sorry about that. And second of all, there's got to be something that makes food creamy that doesn't have soy in it. That can't be why the soy's in it. It
The
can't
soy
be.
is in it because soy is cheap.
Yeah, but like how does it make something creamy?
Well, what it is that
Like if I open a bottle of, or if I like look at a label for like a heavy cream,
no,
you know?
that heavy cream is going to be milk, completely milk. But
Exactly.
but for anything that is processed together, that's going to have oils to it, like um, I gotta think now. Tartar sauce, which is I now call death sauce. Tartar sauce has soybean oil in it and onion. So yeah,
Oh, jeez.
that stuff is death sauce to me now.
Do you remember being able to eat these things without issue? Like, was this developed later on? Like, what's the deal?
Well, the thing is that looking back and thinking about how I felt as a kid growing up, I'm pretty sure I had always been allergic to onion. That's a given
Hmm.
because I'm pretty sure the reason I had always been a chubby kid is because I was always swollen and having an allergic reaction to the onion. But because my allergic reaction wasn't severe, no one noticed it.
Hmm.
Because my dad would always go, "Oh, you just have hay fever. It's just seasonal allergies. You're fine." And, I was chubby most of the time, so there was no way to tell if something was actually doing something because I was always ingesting whatever food it was, which, like I said, was probably the onions. Um, so I was always a little chubby. And now that I'm not eating onions, I I actually rubbed my back and I could feel stretch marks on my back because I had been swelling up from eating onions the entire time. And now that I don't
Jeez.
have the onion in me, all of my limbs and extremities have shrunk down. So I look like I have, basically, my stomach looks like a pregnant woman's belly after while she, has the child and her stretches and, you got little lines of
I
wiggles.
mean, you could have just stopped at pregnant woman's
Yeah.
belly. That's so funny that you like going with that.
I'm going with that because it's the most analogous thing I could think of.
I mean, sounds like a beer belly to me.
Well, pregnant women always suffer from stretch marks. That's why I knew that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess beer bellies aren't known for their stretch marks, though.
Yeah. But yeah, so the reason I've been chubby all my life is because I was suffering from food allergies that I never realized I had.
Right. That's crazy.
Yep. All right, but we're at 30 minutes here, so Um, we'll just
Good
call this
stopping
then, yeah.
point.
I mean, I got the
Yeah.
end of the tale of the death of Rye, well, the near death of Rye from a sinus infection.
Right.
All right. So, thank you so much for listening, and remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow, whatever it is that you do. I got things up on the screen telling you where you can find us at. So, until next time, you got anything to lead them out with?
um, I mean, since our topic of conversation was random today, put something random in the comment. I don't care, put anything. Kind of the same attitude as last week. Just like say whatever you want. If anything resonated with you today, tell us about your allergies. I don't really have many allergies except for medicines like penicillin and sulfa. I was fortunate on the food front, and I've always been chubby because of that. But tell us about your allergies, whatever you want, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.